Good morning, Cowboy Jim. Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada. Only in Canada, you say? Yeah. I just finished my breakfast, and good breakfast, I think. And as I was watching the inevitable, unavoidable, unless you have willpower, news, and on this occasion, I was watching CTV. And on CTV, the Prime Minister of Canada, not mine, children, not mine, was waxing eloquent. When a politician does that, it means that he's running his mouth, substantively missing any and most all content, and really just propagating a collection of sentences structured so that he looks good. Or Nancy Pelosi's case down in the States, that she looks good, which is, I think she's 81 now. Trust me, children, you can't look good at 81. No, not possible. But I was having my breakfast, and in keeping with that, I have a very clear and systematic approach to not screwing up my breakfast or any other meal I'm eating, and that is in this. If I see Trudeau come on the screen, I mute it. If my ability to hold food down is somewhat, shall we say, at risk, I'll just change the channel, because I will not give credence to a man who, at the EU Parliament in Europe, wherein Christine Anderson, she's a little lady, good-looking woman, by the way, from Germany, and Michael something. They took Trudeau to task, and they stated, just prior to him taking the Diaz or the pulpit, if you want to call it in a churchy term, speaking, anyways. And they entered into a verbal tirade that would make mine look pretty anemic. And I just shouted encouragement to them. They did, as I have done on more than a couple of occasions, tried to remind people that Trudeau, upon being asked who his favorite country in the world was, he said CCP in China, because Xi Jinping, whatever, knew how to turn his economy around on a dime. And Trudeau admired that, not because he cares about the economy, unless it has to do with his own pocket and or getting reelected. And they gave him supreme hell, and he deserved it. I'm pretty laid back, and I am. But that does not mean that I am lethargic. But it does mean that I don't get too upset too quickly, which is a good thing. And so when Christine Anderson was doing, and this Michael guy, He is from Croatia. And Trudeau stepped up to speak. 3/4 of the European Union members got up and left the building or left the room because they would not listen to that fatherless child called Justin Trudeau. Not because of anything other than his corruption in how he handled the great Canadian Freedom Convoy. Because he denigrated Canadian citizens, as Pierre Elliott Trudeau did so many years ago when he fingered a community who dared to protest with signage and so on at a train station as Pierre Elliott Trudeau was passing through. And he did not pass through far enough, but he wouldn't stop. And one of the reporters asked him and said, "Are you not concerned that these people won't vote for you in the next election?" And Trudeau said, "You can do anything to a Canadian, and 3 months later, they will re-elect you." Now, I do not believe that there is any genetic tie between Justin Trudeau and Pierre Elliott. I mean, you just look at the features. I know Justin's mom was a gorgeous-looking woman. Well, not the best-looking woman in the world, I guarantee you, but pretty good-looking. And but Justin Trudeau has brought shame, and I mean shame, on Canada's name throughout the world. Imagine 3/4 of the EU parliamentary system members got up and walked out while he began to speak because they held him in such contempt, as I do. I will not sacrifice a meal. I'm actually a pretty good cook. I will not sacrifice a meal and put it in jeopardy, in peril, by watching Trudeau do anything while I'm eating, well, do anything, anytime, anywhere, because I hold him in such contempt. Now, this morning, this is a Wednesday morning, this morning saw on CTV the lady who has been under somewhat house arrest, I suppose, or some such facsimile, who was asking if she could change the rules of her being out on bail in order that her life would go on a little. And the legal system here in Canada kisses the political arse of the Liberal Party. And they do. You say, well, that's not possible. Well, get a life, child. It is possible because it has been done and continues to be done. So, our hero, not mine, children, Justin Trudeau, useless piece of human flesh. I'm not upset with him. I am searching for the word. I'm ambivalent to him because he made choices that put Canadians in jail because they would not listen to him. But he, Trudeau, did not go to speak to the Canadian Freedom Convoy truckers because he stated that he would support anyone he chose to if he believed in their cause. Freedom Convoy, they wanted mandates removed. Well, almost all the mandates are removed now. And the new COVID is much milder than the old COVID and all that. And if I get kicked off YouTube because I use the word COVID, well, then I do. Because I'm not making a statement one way or the other. People say follow the science. And yes, you should follow the science. But if you're seeking out a story, follow the money as well. Get that? Hey, I don't care about COVID. I don't give a rat's ass about COVID. Because I am going to live or I am going to die, and it will not be because of COVID. It will be because my Father has chosen to bring and or take me home. Or some other idiot shoots me. Which is not altogether out of the question. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Because I sing a little. Not much, and surely not in front of people. Oh my goodness, at work, there was a wonderful chap, his name was Frank, and boy, could that dude sing. His problem was that he couldn't remember all the words to the song, but he remembered the first sentence. And could he sing? Oh. And one lady out in the smoke pit, she said, is it you that sings all the time in the locker room? I said, no, I never sing. I don't. I can't. Well, I can, but I can't, if you understand what I'm saying. I can't sing well. I'd leave that up to my grandchildren, and they can, and but not me. But anyways, I ponder life's purpose, intent, joy, motivation, pleasures actually, because I'm only 72 and I still feel like 40. But I'm pondering more now than I'm doing by a long shot. But that's okay. It's all right to remember. It's all right to remember correctly and not in a delusional sort of state. And I think that Canadians are a little deeper than a water puddle after a rain, in that the average Canadian will recognize that government should not be allowed to strip away our freedoms, our choices. A government should not be allowed to determine what your purpose in life is. It's not right. Because that is between you and your creator. You believe in a creator good, if you don't, good. It's your choice. I'm not going to tell you what is right. I'm not in government. I'm not the prime minister. So I don't have the right as extremely wise and knowledgeable person. Yeah, the hairs of just blessed about white. But I have no right to tell you how to think. nor does our government have any right whatsoever to tell you how you should think, how you should behave. Follow the money, children. Follow the money. In following the money in life, I don't mean to acquire it. No, I don't. There's nothing wrong with acquiring money. But there is something wrong with dedicating your life to being something that you're not. By that I mean putting a price on your value and having someone buy you out. That's what our government is doing. They are not surreptitiously, not covertly, no, perhaps covertly. They're buying who you are, and they're buying your rights and freedoms. And that means the right to defend yourself against tyranny, the right to free speech, the right to law and order, the right to standing up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. So, I'm going to do this time to time and just remind you of the EU parliamentary system in Europe. When 3/4 of them stood when Trudeau began to speak, and they left the room because they held what he was saying in contempt because of the actions that he participated in quelling the Great Canadian Freedom Convoy, because they spoke out against him. He did defend Black Lives Matter, put black face crap on his face too. He marched with LGBT community. Hey, it does not matter to me your choices in your life, because it is your life. Black Lives Matter is a pretense, best demonstrated in the $6 million house they bought in California, I think, just a couple of weeks ago. They're a charity. They said they needed someplace to live. Aren't you tired of believing in something because it has a semblance of truth, but in watching the people who you choose to believe in, like politicians, they decry everything that they have stated in word by their actions. They're corrupt. All lives matter. Trudeau, that fatherless child, okay, and there's a word for that. He marched with those whom he chose to believe in. And the people that he was marching with, that's their choice. No one can condemn an LGBT community person unless they inflict their opinions on everyone else in an effort to change them. But that's not how a confident person behaves. I don't try to change everybody's opinion. Don't have to. It's not my job. Mine is to honor God, to honor you, to remember my grandsons. They listen to me. Well, not that much, but they do. God bless thee. You have a good day. God bless you. Don't let politicians screw you around. Oh, they will. Okay? Don't believe what they're saying either. God bless.